Hello beauties, my name is Daisy. So I'm here to introduce myself as your facilitator or space holder. Who am I to hold this space for you? I am a woman like many of us that grew up in a very challenging home life. So what that resulted in was ongoing list of health issues. So from stomach ulcers, colitis, digestive issues, asthma, bronchitis, tonsillitis. So it was a constant flurry of infections that meant that I was on antibiotics for the majority of my youth. So from 12, I actually started to recognize the connection between what I ate and how I felt. So I took responsibility at that point in starting to cook for myself, and I discovered yoga and started my esoteric practices. I was quite lucky because my mother was rather spiritual and taught me aura reading, and we did some really interesting spiritual practices growing up. But by the time I was 18, I was burnt out. So I was raised in a family where it was like, gotta work hard to get anything, no one's gonna give you anything, and they didn't. So I worked hard, ended up in hospital at 18 with stomach ulcers and colitis in a ward full of people 50s, 60s plus. Now, I had an amazing nurse who asked me this question: what are you doing with your life? How are you living? Because you have a chronic stress disorder. Look around you. So it was at that point that I actually decided to live a holiday lifestyle. And from there, instead of working 6 or 7 days a week, I backed it down and started to really maintain my output and input. And that's really where my journey took a whole new turn. So I discovered Qi Sang, which is Chinese stomach massage, and started studying that when I was 18 with these big digestive issues. And at the same time, I had a personal initiation. So the reason I work with the 5 elements is that I went on this 7-month journey where I was lost in the forest for 5 days with a group of 7 people. I sank in a boat in the middle of the ocean, middle of the night. My guitar popped up right next to the dinghy. I plucked it from the waters. I then traveled across from the east coast to the west coast, and I was a passenger in a car. We hit a cow head first. So I actually headbutt this poor cow through the windscreen and broke my nose and broke many bones, and then I ended up in Broome. We smashed the front end of the van out, drove the rest of the way to Broome, where I met an embodiment of darkness. So it was at this point I really had to choose where I was working with the light or the shadow. And so it was a great opportunity to really choose to be in the light, to be in alignment with love. My journey then went from the north of Western Australia to the south, where I started working on another horse property and woke up in a fire which stole my guitar that I had rescued from the waters and cleared everything out. Now, then I was gifted a white, blue-eyed horse that I still have today. Her name is Sky. So 25 years later, I have this beautiful reminder of this 5-element journey. The earth, the water, the air in the desert. It's like finding that expansion where the car accident happened, really getting connection with prayer. And the fire, the purification, the transformation of what's been, to clear out and really accept the new, what's coming. So this was my 5-element initiation, and this is why I'm so passionate about the 5-element work. So I present the 5 elements in all of the things that I do and offer, and I hope my hope is that you really get to feel this integration and this wholeness that comes from the embodiment and understanding of these elemental forces. Now, I'm 25 years on. Since then, I've become a universal Tao instructor. I've studied biodynamic trauma release, therapeutic breath modalities, many modalities in healing, including shiatsu, sports therapy, aromatherapy, reflexology, cranial, sacral. I'm a passionate herbalist and food for medicine being. So I bring the combination of all of these wisdoms into all that I do. So I offer little pearls of wisdom and in little treasures the whole way through my trainings. Now, I am a bit of a study junkie, so I haven't mentioned everything that I've got in my tool belt, but I'm really looking forward to meeting you and to dancing with you and to really sharing a journey full of kindness and love. And this is really the most important thing that I bring into my trainings, is the presence of compassionate, loving kindness, because it is the one thing that has touched me the most deeply in my own healing presence, is that when someone can really hold me without trying to fix me, without trying to advise, but to just hold a loving space, this is where I feel the most magic and the most grace. So it's with this that I wish to offer you, and that I'm dedicated to the health, vitality, balance and harmony of all of us on this sacred planet. I wish you a beautiful day or night wherever you are.